what are some of the challenges that you as panelists in your individual areas of work face in bringing attention to gathering resources, whether that be people or money or spaces, to address the needs of the community that you're working with? You can go get started with Eric.
Hi again, Eric, Mono Amiga. In terms of challenges that we face, again, not an attorney, only an advocate. But we maintain correspondence with people who are detained in our local jail in Hays County. Very early on, we did deportation defense campaigns to help free people from deportation proceedings. And, at that time, we were an unincorporated grassroots community organization of, I'm still young, but I was far younger back then, 6 years ago, and, working at a call center and doing these things in the free time. People in positions of power, when you're first emergent into a space and bring attention to an issue, of course they're going to be outright ignore you or be outright dismissive of you. And, you have prosecutors, judges, even defense counsel who say, no bar card, no opinion, right? But here we have, most people in jails in the United States and in Texas in particular are what are called pretrial detainees. They're legally innocent individuals who've only been charged but not convicted of a crime for which they're accused. They're simply there because they are too poor to afford their bail. We have a wealth-based detention system in America. You can have two people accused of the same crime, but because one person has access to wealth and another person doesn't, one person gets to go free. But I also want to say, for people who are serving a sentence, the state will use the threat of incarceration as leverage to get them to come up with a plea deal. And so, when we have this idea, this supposed tenet of democracy, that you are innocent unless proven guilty, you'll hear a lot of attorneys, you hear it on TV all the time, that you are innocent until proven guilty. And the presumption is that you will be proven guilty, right? But the reality is that you are innocent unless proven guilty. And when we connect with people who have been detained pre-trial for 4+, 5+ years without having their day in court, you see, you can see via attorney visitation logs and all these things that Information Act requests. It's like you can tell these people aren't being visited by their attorneys. You can tell they're being dismissed. You can tell that their opinions aren't being taken seriously. It's a one-party consent state. These people are recording conversations with their attorneys. They aren't talking to them in a manner that is respectful or treating them like an intelligent person. And so the reality is that the courthouses are the people's house, right? And that there is this lack of transparency and attention into our legal system, and it's a mechanism that is used for disenfranchisement. So I would say that one of the greatest challenges that we face is almost everyone else, right? I mean, defense counsel, prosecutors, judges, commissioners, politicals, people with positions of power almost never really want to earnestly listen to the people who are going to the legal system themselves. And we see ourselves as an advocate to amplify the experiences of those people, because when they aren't listening, we're going to show up and we're going to shout, and we're going to be the boom mic to these people's experiences. So it's all of that plus funding. Most progressive nonprofits in Texas are contingent on foundation grants, but those foundations come with siloization, work on criminal justice reform, work on immigration reform, right? But the reality is that the person who is on, the street, people have a real problem with the visualization of poverty. You see that in Austin, where people are uncomfortable with people camping out in the streets. And the reality is that, it is a holistic mechanism. This person needs housing and mental health treatment, access to good education and health care. But the way that the system is set up, it's saying, you're doing really great work, get that person out of jail. And then that's the end of the story, right? And then you got to hope that there's some other nonprofit that is somehow connected to that funding stream that is going to be working in that siloed field. And so it's a real problem, and we're working through it every single day. I digress.